How good is Topuria? But what's he going to look like up weight division? Same with Islam. By all reports, though, the weight cut was really hard for him, like really, really hard. He's super strong for that weight division, which, you know, must translate well to moving up, making it a little bit easy cut. Maybe he gets a little bigger. It's yeah, I'm very that's the $1 million question. Everybody's asking the same thing.
Former UFC champion Robert Whittaker gave his opinion on the potential fight between Islam Makhachev and Della Maddalena, saying that Islam will definitely be the favorite going into this matchup, but it's still an exciting fight to watch.
When you moved up from welterweight to middleweight, obviously you became champion. Cutting the weight was a pain in the ass, and you've gone into that. What do you think Islam will look like when he moves up to welterweight? Because I hear cutting the weight for him was never the easiest. Do you think it could kind of have a similar effect to you, where he might even be able to perform a little bit better a weight class up?
Maybe. It's I guess that's the $1 million question. That's the question everybody's asking, and that's kind of the question. It's the same situation as Topuria as well. How good is Topuria? But what's he going to look like up weight division? Same with Islam. By all reports, though, the weight cut was really hard for him, like really, really hard. He's super strong for that weight division, which, you know, must translate well to moving up, making it a little bit easy cut. Maybe he gets a little bigger. It's yeah, I'm very that's the $1 million question. Everybody's asking the same thing.
Yeah, Jack's in a pretty cool position of being able to fight someone who's one of the best of all time to do it. I know the first, like when the Bilal fight, you mentioned how you feel like Jack's going to win. How do you feel about this fight with Islam? Obviously, like people bring up Bilal and they say, hey, this is a good sign, right? Like he was able to stop all the takedowns. But Islam's kind of a bit of a different animal when it comes to the type of wrestling that he implements, right?
Definitely. But like I said, it is hard to try to get like an accurate gauge on what it's going to look like, not knowing how Islam is going to look when he moves up. Okay, it's always the question everybody asks when anybody is moving up a weight division or down a weight division. Okay, there's so many unknowns involved. But saying that, I think that Islam can do everything that Bilal does, but way better. Okay, way better. So, and the fight, I thought Jack handedly had the fight, but it was a fight. Okay, so I don't think it'll be an easy fight for Jack, but I believe in Jack. I think he's got that X factor. He's got that hunger there. You know, he's got the ticker, and you know, just like with Bilal, just like with Burns before, I think he can do the impossible.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson also shared his thoughts, saying Islam is an incredible fighter, but JDM definitely has a real chance in this one.
Who do you think wins?
I don't know, man. I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam Makhachev walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, over 205, 210 to the 215. Some of the guys that I faced would walk around at that weight. I think like the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JDM might be a little taller, but when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division. Bilal being one of them. I think it's going to be a tough night for him.
JDM's head coach reacted too, saying Islam is beatable. He's already been knocked out once before, and JDM has the power to do it again.
It's a situation where this is going to be an eventual down the line, like third, fourth round. Or do you think people might even be shocked to see it happen earlier on?
We know for a fact if Jack clips someone clean on the chin, they can go over. So it could happen in the first minute. It could happen in the 24th minute. It could happen in the 24-minute, 59 seconds. It could happen 3 rounds in. Jack likes long fights. He likes to be in there. But obviously we're not getting paid for overtime. So if the opportunity arises, we're happy to take it. But Jack's cardio, as we saw, Bilal's reputedly the best cardio in the UFC, and Jack out cardioed him. Bilal was more tired than Jack towards the end of the fight. So Jack's cardio is exceptional, his power is exceptional, and yeah, I like the fight. I really do.
Dan Hardy also gave his opinion, calling this one of the most interesting fights of the year.
What is your feel on this one? And also, What do you think of the odds, man? Islam very heavy favorite going into this one.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I was obviously backing Jack. Like Jack's, he's one of the boys from our neighborhood, so he's from our side of the world. And look, Islam. There's a blueprint for beating Islam. He's been knocked out before, and Volk's beaten him already. You know what I'm saying? people are going to come in the comments about that. But yeah, there's a bit of a blueprint out there. Look, if you can, obviously, it's a difficult thing to counter the wrestling, but Islam, you'll find holes. What you have to do with Islam is you have to get him. He's very good at throwing one shot. He can pick you off and throw one shot very well. But you need to put Islam in a position where he has to fight to win the round, and that means he has to put 2 and 3 punches together. His vulnerabilities come when he has to fight with you and put 2 or 3 punches together. That's when the holes start appearing, and that's because you just, you're a wrestler. Like at a high level, the holes start really appearing when there's a lot of pressure, and you have to put 2 or 3 punches together to hang with the other person. And that's where Jack will find the vulnerabilities. But they know that, bro. They're a very smart team, and it's a very interesting fight.
I think Della Maddalena's got a bright future. I don't know whether he's going to hold the belt or he's going to lose it to another one of the top contenders and then pick it back up again. I don't think he's going to lose it to Makhachev, though. I think Makhachev holds the lightweight belt against anybody in the world, on any day, including Ilia Topuria. I don't think if he moved up, he would have much success against Makhachev. But Della Maddalena looked very, very sharp against Bilal. And I wonder what Makhachev would look like as a welterweight, whether he would look as strong and as lean or whether he would look heavier and, potentially gas himself out because he'd be stepping straight into a 5-round fight, wouldn't he?
Why do you feel that he beats Islam?
I just wonder what Makhachev would look like as a welterweight. It is a big step up from one weight class to another. And, he is big for this weight class. But I also, McGregor's a good example of when you kind of shift through gears in weight classes. It changes the way that you move, right? And it also changes your kind of tone and your attitude. McGregor as a featherweight was like feral and lean on the scales. But by the time he got to welterweight, he was like rubbing his belly and laughing. And, it was a different kind of energy. And I'm not saying that would be, Makhachev, of course. But, just sometimes the discipline that he would have to get him down to 155 and the extra conditioning he would do is partly what makes him so formidable. And I wonder if moving up to welterweight and giving himself that extra 15 pounds to kind of, just be, he's going to gain some muscle mass or even some additional weight that he may not necessarily need and might actually impede him in a 5-round fight, especially. Because, like you said, Della Maddalena, he showed some weaknesses in the Gilbert Burns fight. He showed some big improvements in the Bilal fight. You've got to think that trajectory is going to continue on and he's going to be better again the next time around. And obviously now with the confidence that he's the champion, people can expedite their progress very, very quickly. And a lot of people will be coming to help him out. So I'm interested to see where it goes from here. But I certainly think there's some other fights in the welterweight division as well that'll be really interesting for him. And I know that Ian Gary's calling for it, so that'll be quite a fun one to watch as well.
Feel on this fight? Like, do you have a good feeling on who you think might win this one?
Yeah, I mean, this is my unbiased opinion. I'm not just saying this because I'm in Australia, but I feel like JDM has a really good chance going into this fight. I mean, he's definitely proven himself being able to shut down the wrestling in his fight against Bilal Muhammad here most recently. And I think he's going to go out there and really shock a lot of people. I mean, I think a lot of people aren't giving him credit. You're accustomed to seeing guys like Islam win, and you're accustomed to associating his success with Khabib's success. But at the end of the day, those guys are two completely different fighters, and I think JDM definitely has the tools to go out there and shock a lot of people. And beat.
Meanwhile, Islam's coach confidently stated that Islam can give trouble to anyone in the world, and he'll come out with another victory.
Because Islam has more of a traditional style for his stand-up. Do you feel like people are kind of missing some of the X factors that Islam brings with his striking?
If he's saying that, I hope then he goes in believing that, because when he gets in there with Islam, you're going to find out a whole different story, because I'm sorry, they're completely different. And by no means is Islam an easy for anybody to understand. That any MMA fighter that's a striker, that's not going to have an easy time with him. I've been with this kid like going on 11 years of watching him just destroy everybody on the stand-up, guys that are much better stand-up than him, and he still destroys them. So, no, don't go by what you see. When you get in there with that man, it's a whole different ballgame.
The next.
And finally, Alexander Volkanovski also reacted, saying JDM is a big guy with real knockout power. He definitely has a chance in this fight.
People that are doubting him, how dangerous is he for Islam, especially everything that you know about Islam and the time you've spent with AJ?
I mean, you can't doubt him. Look, he's a welterweight, and you've got Bilal, who's a grappler, wrestler. Look how he handled that. And then you know he's a beast on the feet. And then he's early, and I guarantee you from that fight, his confidence in grappling and takedown defense has just gone to a whole nother level. So he's going to be an absolute nightmare. So it'll be good. I'm hoping to get some training with him for this one as well. But we'll tee something up for sure. But I mean, JDM, mate, he's a weapon. So I mean, I know that Islam's not taking this one lightly. So and he shouldn't.
Do you believe he might be able to stop Islam going up to this weight class?
Stop him. Yeah, I mean, look, JDM's boxing and pressure that he can do, incredible. So I definitely can get a finish.
And